Thank you for staying with us on Politics Today on Channels Television. Our guest on the program is a PDP candidate of in Osun governorship election, Senator Iyola Omisore. Let me start this particular session by asking the Ekiti election. You followed it closely, and INEC is saying that the template used for that election is what is going to use in Osun State. Do you agree with that?
Well, I agree totally. You know why? Because one, my issue is still that your vote must count. One man, one vote. And the higher the turnout of the public to vote, the better for the authenticity of that governor being elected. For the first time in Ekiti elections, up to 2010, the largest turnout we had in Ekiti for all the elections were 199,000 plus. That is about 37%. Because of this military presence, the policing of the votes, and the security everywhere in the state, this day we have 2,000 or 3,000 for PDP, 123 for APC, and 80,000 for Labour. That comes to almost 40,000 votes. That's about 72% turnout. That means a credible governor. That means you can actually be a governor of a state.
That statistics is actually the first in so many governorship elections that we've seen.
Exactly.
That's the highest we've seen so
exactly. Far. That shows that the militarization, the policing, etc., makes it a worthwhile venture.
Do you think it's not an overkill? Some people say it's over-militarization. Do you want that to play?
How can you say, you can't add on side of surplusity when it comes to security? More so when about a week to the election, somebody was killed in Ekiti. The tension was mounting. More so, thugs were arrested for and after the elections.
Don't you think that it may cause some form of intimidation on voters?
What is meaning of intimidation?
When people see people who, guys in the military uniform with guns and all of that, with arms, ammunitions around the voting area, don't you think that could cause some form of...
You don't talk in politics or to Nigerians based on rumors. You talk on facts and figures.
Of course, we were there. We monitored. We saw the elections.
I'm saying now that how do you know intimidation when that was the largest turnout? Don't make a mistake. You know you are not saying things opposite yourself.
No, I'm asking you a question. That's what people are saying. I'm just putting it to you.
You agree with me that that's the largest turnout again?
Based on the statistics, of course.
Basically, that shows that system works well for Ekiti. When there was no military, no policing, they had about 31% turnout. They burnt Idosi local government. There were talks and cries everywhere. In Ekiti, 220 polling units, 2,021 polling units. Every polling unit was counted. If I saw on channels that day, a 94-year-old man with a walking stick voted. That shows there's a security of life and property. People are free to come out. The moment you secure an environment, people come out, come out. And you know, the Electoral Act does not allow guns at the polling units. So there's no single polling unit you can see gun. Maybe you made a mistake.
No. I saw guns at the polling units. I did. The pictures are there.
Guns were around the polling unit, not the polling unit.
Within the premises. We saw. We went live. Well, that's not even the issue.
No, what I'm not telling you is that that presence of military assisted the large turnout, the largest turnout in Nigerian history of politics. Check any result I've seen before. No election has come with 71%.
So you think it worked well?
Of work.
So it should.
That is why there are 1,941 observers, both local and international. They all applauded it internationally. Even the U.S. government congratulated INEC for that work, for job being done. Right. What is what else to do?
Senator Omisore, you said you've done a door-to-door campaign. From your movement and your campaigns, what have you discovered as the problems of your people?
Negligence. They sit. They've seen through APC hypocrisy. In villages I went to, towns I visited, in schools, maybe a principal and a teacher. So I know that there's decay and negligence across the board. So people they wanted a change. And of course, the major thing they are complaining is capital flight. That is Osun money be taken to Lagos. Thereby impoverishing Osun indigenes. The GDP in 3.5 years has gone down by 12%. The affordability of food in that state is terrible now. Even if you permit me, that they go out with anthems that that you can see hunger on the face of the people.
That's the song.
That song everywhere
on the lips of the people in Osun State. Really.
Láyé Àrẹ́gbẹ́, èèyàn mẹ́jọ jẹ fùfú kan láyé Àrẹ́gbẹ́. Like this is the time. You people are English people now. That is a portion meant for one person. This share by 8 people. And the other one is that one guy everywhere because capital flight. Let me give you issue of capital flight. 1. School uniforms have been stolen by Sam and Sarah, traceable to Arebesola's wife. I don't know. I've not done such. That enough, by my analysis, has thrown out about 1 million jobbers. The clothes sellers, male and female. The tailors, male and female. The hawkers, male and female. So that's an aspect.
You think that those uniforms are now sewn in Osun State?
No, they are sewn in a factory owned by the government.
Where?
In Osun State too.
But is there anything wrong with that? So when the factory is in Osun State,
so that means you are doing other people's job. What is the business of government?
You are saying that they should give it out to other people to do.
No. There's a traditional way of people sewing their uniform their own way now.
Okay.
Everywhere in Nigeria, that's not where it's done. Why is it not done in Lagos State or even Oyo State? You are doing other people's job. Government has no business in business. Government is only to provide enabling environment. You don't have to compete with your
But citizens. I guess these uniforms are being given to these students for free.
They are buying it being sold for 3,500. And the cost in markets are 700 naira. Even 1 or 2 people were arrested by Arebeshola, put in prison because they went to buy outside. These are facts and figures you can check. Reality is on ground. The kids, the children, what my rally is now, displaying the torn uniforms. Omisore gbaso ya lorun wa gbaso ya awo wo so ya mo gbaso ya on the lives of kids, pupils. That alone is impoverishing the people. So when I visited Iwo is known for cows and market. Government now importing cattle, rams, giving contract to help party faithfuls from Lagos. They're supplying and dashing this out. Like it should be a free market now. You don't compete with your citizens as a government. Because you want to make money. Everything APC does is for profiting, not for governance. No transparency, no good governance, and everything is transparency. So that is why I say that economy of Osun has gone down the drain. The worst ever they had. And of course, I have told people in Lagos, Osun, we don't have Chevron in Osun State. We don't have Tezaco, no Cadbury, no APA in Osun State to cushion the effects of government. So it's basically a civil service government state. So there's one that is a misrule or a capital flight or the dishonest government who is trying to take their money somewhere else have a problem.
So what are the solutions that you are bringing to the table if you are given that mandate?
I've made policy statements. One.
Okay.
The schools will return to the owners. I'm going to demerge the schools. Except the owners doesn't want. I will demerge the schools. Because I went to St. John's Grammar School in
Ife. Back to status quo.
Oh yes, I went to St. John's Grammar School. I went there because I'm a Catholic. I like the Catholic school, their discipline and their code of conduct. So others went to AUD Grammar School because the Muslim school and needed to be taught the Quran and Muslim. Suddenly, a governor just came and merged the schools together. The psychology of our youth is destroyed. The pride in us is destroyed. The curriculum, the interest of schools is destroyed. Some people attend a particular school because of uniform. The uniforms are not being uniform because you want to make money out of it. That is why the decision of Osun today, everything is for profiting. It's for business making. No other reason for it. The same way, when Arebeshola came to government, he promised Osun State 120 schools. That is 70 high schools, 50 medium schools, and 20 elementary schools. As we speak today now, he's only able to build only 20 of them. 7 of them completed, 13 at foundation level, and one of them was the one at Iwo. That a day to the commissioning, the building came down on its own. So what do you do? And all the ones that he built, they are all built along the road where you can see on this express road.
So you have your manifesto published.
Basically.
How many points are you on
8-point agenda.
Okay.
I give to you.
All right.
1, education. I call it restoration of the dignity of education. You know what that means? That is in its dignified form. That is the curriculum, the school uniform, the individual school identities, health, well-being, and safety nets, agriculture, and food security. For instance, Osun State is an agrarian state. We are known in those days, the Western region, as mainly exporter of cocoa, cassava, etc. In Osun State, where you have the population in about 75% rural roads, not a single kilometer of rural road done in 3.5 years. Not one. I start with challenge. Not one single rural road. I've transferred all the rural roads in Osun State. And when rural roads are not done, the farmers, and you know in Nigeria, we have problem with storage. But you know this yourself. And all our crops are mostly seasonal. So they are perishables. The moment you cannot transport the product of your farm to the nearest market, that farmer is dying. The seller, they are dying, the market is impoverished. There's a link. You know, in government, you must link the economy, the agriculture, education, the health sector, the road sector. So these are the things that make a network.
So, I mean, from what we know Osun State, the strength of the state, what do you think you're going to, if you are elected governor, what do you think you're going to hold on to as the major income earner for the state? We have some other states who have the mainstay of oil. But for Osun State, what would you say is going to be the mainstay of the economy of that state?
You know, like I said, one, Osun State, you have to grow the economy to make money out of it. And grow the economy, you must grow the economy through the agriculture.
So agriculture is the mainstay of the economy?
It's a mainstay. That's why you can get taxes being paid. You can get people paying freely their taxes. And people can pay money out of it. But if you don't grow agriculture, then of course you have to create an enabling environment. But everything is still a process. Then we have timber and woods in the villages and farms too. And of course, Osun State has a very good network of manpower. Probably we can export manpower. So that state, even to outside Nigeria, this tanker head course in those days, we exported more than any state. Because we have manpower, well educated, schools are banned everywhere. But you have to encourage these people to get to this one. It's also a park, people are plugging. You give an environment, but you don't do business as a government. No.
Tell us how you're probably going to do the turnaround you're talking about in agriculture. Because
the first thing is what you call rural roads. There's a program called Rural Roads Mobility Project, Rural Access Mobility Project. That is rural, rural access and mobility.
Yeah.
That is just the normal road, maybe MC1 level, not express road, not 1 billion naira per kilometer. Because now in Osun State, up till 2010, a kilometer of road is awarded by PDP government as 113 million naira per kilometer. EPC came in 2 months after, it went to 1.something billion. So apparently, surplus money being used, inflated contracts, they're enough to develop the state.
Right.
So what we have in our state is enough to pay our salary and workers. Because today now, they have their own salaries, worker salary, their own pensioners, their own teachers. So they cannot pay. And this same government can buy a helicopter of 4 billion in a very, very safe state. This government can spend 1.2 billion naira on hotel accommodation for Lagos visitors in a year. In fact, I figure we have shown to them as well. This government can hire an aeroplane from Lagos to Ibadan. Because the government doesn't want to do on the express road. And you cannot afford pay salary. Our money are good enough to pay salaries.
All right.